Well, this video is going to be very, very real. So, I released a couple videos saying, if you're, actually, let me just say this. If you're new to this channel, I'm just going to say this. If you're not new, sorry, I'm just going to reiterate it. I made a video about going to Indiana about a week and a half ago. I went there for a wedding, but I was like, you know what, let me check to see how much rent would be in different apartments, how much I could get for a job. And, fortunately, I was able to get a job. And it was like a secured route to go back to Indiana to live free. Not actually live free, but just live free without restrictions, you know? And then on top of that, it was, I guess a blessing in disguise to say that I had done it, but then I wasn't going to accept it because the pay was way too low. So this is where this video comes into play. So this is legitimate stuff, okay? This isn't like my personal earnings, all right? So I don't want you guys to be watching this video and be like, oh my God, he's sharing his personal earnings. It's not. It's not even close. But I just want to give a reality of what it is. So my dad, who is very good with, well, I wouldn't say the best with finances, but he's good with calculating different things. He's an electrical engineer. He does this for a living, everything, okay? So he brought it into a spreadsheet of doing rent and utilities, car insurance, internet, food, health insurance, gas, and other expenses. So for instance, you know, rent, let's give or take $1,300 is going to be the absolute max. Okay? Or $1,200, whichever. Between $1,200 and $1,300. Car insurance would be $166 a month for me. I'd pay that every 6 months because that's just how I am. Internet would be $100. Food would be $300. I don't necessarily see how that could be the case because I'd say the best it would be, especially for as one person, would probably be half of that. This is where you really budget yourself. I mean, you get the stuff that you really can afford. Like, this is literally penny pinching, okay? On top of that, it's eliminating like coffee, sodas, anything that's in that general section, ice cream. Anything that you really don't need but you want, gotta get cut out. You can have it once in a while, but you can't have it every time. So like for me, it's coffee. I don't eat ice cream. I don't drink soda or anything. I do drink alcohol, but alcohol would be out of the question. I'd have to go sober. Like there'd be no ifs, ands, or buts to that. It's too expensive. So coffee, for instance, like as much as it is good to me, it helps me with my migraines, I'd have to find an alternative. The gas being 150, I could see that. I think the main reason why I like to go on cruises and stuff is it clears my head. I love my car and everything, but at the same time, you do have to also think about it in this sense is that I don't have my buddies with me right now. So it's like that's the reason why I go with my car all the time. I can't play golf. And then obviously everything else is based on, you know, like you're doing, like the utilities, especially like turning off lights or turning them on, or water, anything like that, sewage, everything. So then he's putting this in a spreadsheet. He was like, what happens if you work 24 hours? What happens if you work 32 hours? What happens if you work 40 hours a week? And he specifically listed how much you would make, either at 21 an hour, all the way up to 25 an hour. And since this job, surprisingly, was quite low for my understanding, because with all the stuff that I would be doing extra and helping them out with social media, because for those of you who don't know, I don't think I've ever mentioned this, I have a degree in media communications, and I'm not to say like I haven't done well with it. I mean, I've helped companies before and it's done fairly well. I mean, obviously myself is not the question because it's a personal brand rather than a company. But let's just say this, 23 an hour, flat base, because that's what I'd be getting paid. 23 an hour. This is just solely based on this job, not anything else of what I do besides that. 24 hours would be 552 a week. 32 hours would be 736 a week. And then 40 hours would be 920 $920 a week. So let's just give or take you work 38 hours. You're probably in the mid like 840 to 870 range. Let's just go in the median average of that. Now, here's the thing. If you were to do New York state tax versus Indiana state tax. So, for instance, federal is not going to change. That's 12% right now. And by looks of it, with Trump and everything, that federal income tax is, the elimination of that's never going to happen. He would, listen, as a Republican, as a registered Republican, it's not going to go that way. Like, let's be real. He's doing very, very, very poorly. And I don't care who comments in this video, like the MAGA supporters, listen. If you truly believe in him, you're a fucking idiot. Okay? He's not doing anything good for this country at all. Like, for real. So anyways, the federal income tax probably never going to go away. That's at 12%. That stays that way. Social Security tax is at 6.2%. That stays the same. Medicare tax stays the same between both states as well at 1.45%. So like 1.45%. So yeah. The Indiana state income tax is $3.15 versus New York state tax is $5.25. I think the only benefit is that I'm still lower with Indiana, but not by much. So in New York, you don't pay extra taxes for county or anything, unless you're in Yonkers or NYC, and I'm not in either. So it's at $5.25 fixed. Versus Indiana, you have the Indiana state income tax at 3.15%, and depending on what county you're in, it's not much. It's like I guess the median average would be a 0.02 and a 0.4%, 0.04% increase, which you're still way below the New York state income tax. But it's not by much. It's maybe $5 or $6, maybe a max of 11. But this is, again, going per week, and then now you're into per month. So, like, obviously, rent and everything is due monthly. So, you could theoretically have a great month. You could theoretically have a bad month. It happens to everybody. It's not just like it's not just like the average person or whatever, or like some rich person. Everyone has iffy months and great months. So realistically, let's just say I worked 40 hours a week. At my base pay, it'd be roughly $2,839.59 of take-home pay. That's with taxes taken out and everything, okay? If rent was theoretically what I was saying with the other expenses and the rent, utilities, car insurance, internet, food, health insurance, gas, and stuff, that comes to $2,316. So realistically, you have, give or take, $400 something to work with each month, which is just the free stuff. Which, believe it or not, I mean, $400 theoretically does go farther than what people think, but it's definitely not to the point where you can just go out and get a steak dinner or something. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's also the sense of, because I actually will earn less in New York, obviously, because of the tax, than I will in Indiana. So, say I work 40 hours a week at $24 an hour in New York, I am earning $2,763.68. So, you have almost $100 difference, which, again, does go a little bit farther than what you would think. But, again, let me know in the comments down below, because I really am curious. I know this is a long video, but this is the problem that I'm facing, is that I have an opportunity to go back to Indiana, be with my friends, be with family, move out on my own. But at the same time, is it worth going absolutely almost broke and or paycheck to paycheck to be happy? My opinion is kind of no. I think I'd much rather, as sucky as it be, to live with the parents and have like almost, not really restrictions, but just like, I'm just curious of their life and everything. Would I rather be broke and live in Indiana, have my buddies around, or would I rather save the $3,000 plus to stay here in New York, live rent-free and everything under my parents' house with no friends, nothing or anything, and just save up, do my build on the car, invest, all this stuff, and just be miserable. I don't know. Money plays a huge factor in our lives. This video is super long, I get it, but I just want to be as honest as possible and as transparent as possible for people who are in the exact same position as myself, and or you're getting into it, or you're in it currently. I mean, it's not an easy task, okay? And also, my job will not have any type of moving assistance or relocating assistance. It's a simple job. It's not like something crazy. So, thank y'all so much for watching. Yeah, this was a lie. It was a lie, and this is real deal stuff. So subscribe.